Hi, Christy. Is there a way to keep frozen things from getting that awful freezer smell? And what about all those ice crystals? I can't freeze bread or cornbread without getting it ruined. I use freezer bags and the hard plastic containers from Ziploc, and nothing works. And she asked another question too. I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, first thing to keep in mind, and I know that's annoying, but freezer burn is a cosmetic issue. It doesn't change the safety of the food, so that's important to know as well. I would make sure you cool your products completely. Have them completely, especially you mentioned bread and cornbreads and things, cool those completely before you put them in that bag. That's less moisture that's going to be trapped in there. And then get as much of the air out of the bag as possible. If freezer burn is a constant concern, and make sure your freezer stays a constant temperature, make sure it's sealing well, shutting well. I have started using a food saver. And I love it, especially when I go and buy large quantities of meat. I usually go and find my meat on sale. And so I may buy 20 or 30 pounds at a time. And I really like my food saver. I think you would be impressed with that. It might be an investment that's well worth it to you. And it vacuum seals everything. And if you're doing bread or something, so you don't want it to crush, you can control how much air it takes out of it. I would really look into that. And the bags are awesome. They even sell some bags that you can just heat directly in the bag. My brother owns a barbecue restaurant, and he even has these bags where if he ever has leftover barbecue, he can put in the food saver bags, and then he gives it to family members and stuff, and we can take that bag and put it directly in the oven and heat it up in the bag, so it keeps the moisture and everything in there like that. But since I've started putting things in the food saver, I do not have ice crystals or anything. So the main thing is cool your products completely and get as much air out of it as possible. And I have actually seen people take a straw and shut a bag and just leave it a little bit open, put the straw in there, suck the rest of the air out, and then shut it again. I mean, if you have to do that, do what you have to do. But I hope that will help you some. I'm Christy Jordan with SouthernPlate.com. I've been doing a lot of dehydrator videos on my YouTube channel. I've showed you how to make your own instant rice. I've showed you how to dehydrate ground beef, dehydrate frozen vegetables, and all kinds of things to help save money and freezer space. A lot of people have caught on that I have a food saver. You've seen some of the things that I've been putting up, and folks have asked me if I would do a review on it. So I'm going to explain to you how a food saver works and tell you how I feel about it in this episode here. This is my food saver. Now, I bought mine at Sam's Club. They sell them all over. I was very much against a food saver for a long period of time. I was kind of the last holdout in my family. I felt like it was one of those things that's a waste of money and it just takes up a lot of space. And then I finally got won over, and I have been won over very big. So let me show you, I'm going to show you a few things that this food saver does that you may not know it does. First of all, let me show you the basics. So if you'll just come in here a little, this is where our bags are kept. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a bag. And normally I do this for meat a lot, but I'm just using some black-eyed peas today. I needed something to demonstrate for y'all. So I cut my bag, and then here is how you make it. You're going to put it in here and just press seal. And then that's telling the bag we don't need to take the air out, we just want it to seal it a little for us. And then I'm going to put, okay, it's about done, it's about to eject it now. Okay, so now we have a seal in our bag. Now I'm just going to put my black-eyed peas in here. If you're storing it for longer term use, I'm just trying to come up with an example, something to show you here. So now I'm going to put this in here, and it's going to take the air out. And now it's sealing it. It's removed all the air. And we've got those vacuum sealed. So it's great for long-term use. Now, why would you want to do this? The greatest thing that you can really save money with is doing this for meat. Because normally, if you buy meat, if you find it on sale and you want to save it long-term, you might want to freeze it. And meat usually keeps, they say, up to 6 months in the freezer. I store mine a lot longer than that. But with the food saver, meat that would normally keep up to 6 months, once you have it frozen in this air-free environment in this nice, thick, food-grade bag here, it's going to keep for 2 to 3 years. So that makes a significant difference. And that can save you a lot of money. It also takes up a lot less space in your freezer when you're using this. Now, one of the things I get the most questions about is, how do I vacuum pack my jars? This is some dehydrated corn. Everybody wants to know how I do this. So, it's this particular model of Food Saver, which I will put a link to it. It has an accessory port. I bought this for $10, and I'll put a link to this as well, the exact one I have, and it allows you to vacuum seal jars. This is a quart jar, it's a wide mouth jar. I have one for a wide mouth and one for a regular mouth. These are some strawberries that I dehydrated overnight. So all I'm going to do is stick this down on here and press accessory. You hear that little pop? Now, this is now vacuum sealed. So these dehydrated strawberries, I can store these for a very long time now. Now the trick is, you know, once you have things stored in this, and here's some other things also, I dehydrated this right here, just these three. This is 10 pounds of ground chuck that I cooked and dehydrated. You can see that video. So it's perfectly dry right now. Kind of tastes like, well, it kind of sounds like instant coffee. I'm going to vacuum seal those. Now the trick to keeping this the longest period of time is going to be to store it in a cool, dark place with a fairly constant temperature. So this would be great to store in your pantry closet on the top shelf, or maybe I'm going to store these in a closet I have in a guest room. But let me show you something else that this can do that you may not have realized. Yeah, how many times do you open a bag of chips? You know, your family eats only a few, and you know they're going to sit there stale. You do chip clips, whatever. Well, we don't eat a lot of chips and stuff. Every now and then we'll have tortilla chips with taco salad or something like that. And then they're going to go bad before I have taco salad again. Let me show you something neat you can do. This is a bag of chips. And if you'll come in here, I just put it in here. I'll let it take some of the air out. And then when I think it's taken enough of the air out, I'm just going to let it take a little bit. Help keep it fresh. Now I'm going to just press seal, and that'll stop it, and it'll start to seal that bag. This also works really well for cereal. Another thing, if you do have a dehydrator like I do, if you have some chips that start getting stale, my friend Homestead Maverick on Facebook, look at that, sealed chips. They are now sealed again. I can put this in my closet and keep that for months, and they'll be fine. See? There you go. Perfect chips. But you can take these, if these start going stale, you can actually load these on your dehydrator trays and put them in the dehydrator for just a little bit, you know, check for doneness, and they'll get crispy and fresh again. There are limitless uses. If you go on a camping trip, you can vacuum seal things you don't want to get wet. You know, a lot of times you have boat trips, canoe trips and things. This is just worth its weight in gold. I love being able to vacuum seal my jars. I love being able to keep chips fresh and stuff, but to me, the big money maker is being able to seal my meat in a way that is going to allow it to last me, you know, more than 4 times longer than it normally would in the freezer. So, is this for you? Well, you know, it's up to you. If you're like me, if you like to find deals and try to stock up on things in order to save money, I do think this is a great investment for you. Just like I feel like the dehydrator is a good investment for you. If you're somebody who goes to the grocery store a couple of times a week and buys what you need right then, this may not be a good investment for you. But I would urge you to reconsider how you're buying groceries, because you are spending way more money than someone who shops not as often, buys in bulk, is able to buy the deals and come home and, you know, buy a lot of one thing when you find it on sale. So I would really urge you to reconsider that shopping strategy. You know, like I said in my other videos, the price of a lot of household staples has gone up over 69% in the last 2 years alone. It's going to get a lot higher. So, you know, we start making little things now, doing little things to save money, alter our lifestyles a little bit. We're going to feel the crunch a lot less. It won't be such a sudden shock to us later. But anyway, so I will have the links to this below this video, the links to my Food Saver, the links to the attachments I have, still the links to the dehydrator in case anybody's interested in that. And if y'all have any questions or comments, I would love to hear from you. Any suggestions for future videos, please leave them in the comment section, either on my YouTube channel, which is Southern Plate, or on my website, southernplate.com. Thank you so much for visiting with me today. I've enjoyed this time with you, and I hope you find this helpful. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.